Hey guys, this is Nathan, and welcome back to the Unbound realm. So, I was kind of in need of a tiny bit of bone meal, so I thought, oh, wait, I have a mob farm down here. So, I decided to come down here and pop open the chest, and holy God! So, this thing is working very well, even when I am not around, so... Okay, so it's not filled up into the hoppers yet, but oh my God, there's just tons of stuff here, and we're even getting chicken, because occasionally we'll get chicken jockeys, and so yes, but we were struggling to get ender pearls, and now we have ender pearls all over the place. So yes, but yeah, basically it looks like I'm probably going to want to have some additional storage here, and maybe an item sorter, I don't know. I am going to put a torch right there because it seems awfully dark here, and we don't really need that to be that dark. So if we look here, yeah, like our block light here is already 7. So the spawning pads, that's not going to affect them at all. But, oh my God, that is insane. So yes, this thing works while I'm up on the surface, and apparently it works very well. So, yes, I think I'm going to cart a bunch of that stuff up to the surface. And for now, I'll just leave that alone. That may be a project for our next live stream. But, just going to cart a bunch of this stuff up to the surface. And, yeah, but we don't have an issue with bones anymore. So yeah, got a little bit of stuff to do here. See you guys in a little bit. So I have spent a bunch of time out harvesting oak and dark oak wood because I have built up the face of this inn, and you can see the sky behind the windows, because yes, I have this section of roof and the front, and that is it. But we can see the 3 floors there very distinctly. Of course, the top floor is going to be rather small, but if we pop inside, we can see, yes, there is a lot of space in here. There's actually not nearly as much space as I thought there was going to be down here on the ground floor, but that is to be expected when your walls are 3 blocks thick. Now, the 2 inner blocks are made up here, so you can see this is the stone wall, this is the wood, and then we have our overhang, and that's where the walls are. So this second floor is going to be quite a bit larger. So yes, but I have been working on putting the roof on, and there is a bit of an issue because this side over here is only 2 3 segments wide, and this side over here is 3 segments wide. The roofs don't line up with each other. So the roof over this section is actually going to be taller than the roof over that section, and I'm actually considering the possibility of making the great room ceiling higher than what it is right now. I think it's 4 blocks high right now. Yeah, so we're 4 blocks high right now, and I have considered making it higher than that, but I don't know. I'll just have to see how things look as I get the roof finished up and figure out where I need the floors to be. You know, this one is pretty obvious, but over here it could be a totally different story, because we could be upwards of 3 or 4 blocks taller on the peak of the roof. So yeah, I don't know, but anyway you look at it, I think I'm going to continue working on this. I'll at least get the roof finished. And now one thing that I do know that I want to do, there are going to be dormers on this thing. And in my test world, I made a dormer right here, and I just made the one, and I don't know where all I want to put them, but they're only going to be for the 3rd floor. We're not going to have any dormers for the 2nd floor, because, well, quite frankly, the wall at this point is pretty tall anyway. But so that will kind of increase the size of the 3rd floor, make it feel a bit more spacious. Not that it's really going to matter, but yeah, I mean, we want to try to make this feel like it would be a working world. But so yeah, I'll probably just build the outer structure of the roof like this, and then I'll knock the dormers in after the fact, because that's kind of what I did on the barn as well. And speaking of the barn, so the tavern and the barn are exactly the same height. So if we look across here, those guys are at the same height. Yes, I would have never guessed that from the creative world, and the fact that the barn is actually wider. We have 3 threes there, but the roof line starts lower, whereas it starts quite a bit higher here. And maybe we could do that. We could keep the roof line at the same, or the peak of the roof at the same point if we were to drop down the edge of the roof like that. I don't know, I'll have to give that a little thought. You know, I don't want to have an overly complicated roof here. It's kind of a pain to deal with those. So, yes, yeah, let me give that a little thought. I'm going to try to finish skinning off this roof, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well, I was working on the roof, and a cat appeared up on the second floor with me. So, I kind of wandered around after him for a little bit, and he jumped off the roof, landed on this bush, and then ran into the blacksmith's hut. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in here. Let's close this quickly. And I went and grabbed some fish. So can we tame you, kitty? Do you want to love me? Oh, yay, we got ourselves a kitty. Yes, nice. So we have a cat now. So yeah, let's go ahead and take this guy over and put him in our house. And just for the fun of it, we'll sit him down on our bed. And actually, I wonder, is he gonna come in come inside? Come on, kitty. Where you at, kitty? Where are you? Kitty. Come on, kitty. Can you teleport to me? No? Where's my kitty? You loved me? What the heck, kitty? Yeah, whatever. Well, we'll try sleeping and see, because I know that cats will bring you gifts occasionally. So, okay, there we go. He's sitting on us. Yeah, that's a good kitty. Oh, have some cod. He's a good kitty. Alright, so we got ourselves a cat. That is nice. I like that. So, yep. I'm gonna get back to work. Hopefully I'll be finished up with this here pretty soon. And there's another cat! I just literally got back up here. I went and put this piece in up here, and there's another cat. Oh god, I put my fish away. Alright, well, I suppose I'll go grab my fish, see if I can tame another cat. Well, all I can say is this little corner, oh my god, I was on the struggle bus something fierce for this. So I could not figure out for the life of me how to transition the two different slopes of the roof together, because they don't match each other. Not in the slightest. So if we actually come up here and look at how they pull together, and actually it looks like it's coming up on nighttime. But, you know, these don't match up. We can actually walk up this because of how they don't match up. And so, yeah, that's kind of a problem. And then this one here is 3 blocks higher than this one. And I decided I was going to keep the roof height correct and go with that. But let's go ahead and sleep and get rid of the night, and then we'll go out and take a look at this from a little bit of a distance. So I had a couple of thoughts as I was doing this, and I kind of wish that I would have kept track of all of the different iterations of this, because it has changed an awful lot. So one thought that I had was to take this larger section roof and just overhang it all the way out to here. And so there would have been this large unsupported section here, but then this area right here was not going to have a roof, or I was going to have to extend it up like this. And that's when I decided to do this, where I have the appropriate amount of overhang there, and then the roof just drops back at that level, and then when it gets back to a wall, then it comes back down the edge. So I think that works. Let's go ahead and fly out here. This will be the first time of kind of looking at it as I come in, so yeah, that's not terrible. Especially when we put a chimney up this, so I think that window is going to have to go away. Because, yeah, we're going to be having a chimney for the kitchen here. Because the kitchen is over here. We may put that actually may work better. We'll put the chimney up right here. Because this section just looks very strange. And I'd also kind of like to knock a little bit out of this really big, heavy pillar here. And put a little bit of stuff like this into it, because this just, it does not look good having that large of a pillar that just goes up all the way to the roof line. But yeah, we are definitely making some progress on this. The other side is going to be a lot easier because it's just the transition like we have over here on this side. So this is going to be the exact same transition that's going to be utilized over here to bring the two roof sections together. And I think once I get this roof done, I'm gonna stop on the building for a little bit because yeah, this was really pushing me to the maximum. So yeah, I am going to finish out the roof here, and I'll enclose the ends where I've still got it open. I don't think I'm going to be doing the decorations on the outside because like over here we're going to be having a large chimney coming up through still. And so things could definitely be changing there. But this here is going to be fairly straightforward. Oh my gosh! Is that a jelly? That looked like a jelly kitty. Is that jelly? No, kitty. No. Kitty, please. Come down here, love me. Yeah! Woohoo! Yes, it is. It's a jelly. Oh, yes, we got a jelly. Oh. So cats just keep spawning here. We have finally gotten enough cats in our... enough villagers in our village to spawn cats. And as I tame them, they continue to spawn. But for some strange reason, they keep spawning here on the second floor of the tavern. I don't understand it. This is definitely not the center of the villagers. Actually, it's the edge, so I don't follow, but whatever. So yes, we have a jelly. Oh my god, we have a jelly. Alright, well, I'm going to get back to this roof, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. So now that I have the roof on this thing, I want to work on something a little different. You know, like I said, I've been working on this thing, and it's kind of making me a little bit angry. You know, but we do have a lot of space up here, and one thing that I find really interesting is it looks like we've got room for a fourth floor up here. It wouldn't be a very big floor, but we would technically have room for a fourth floor up here. I don't know what we're going to do with the interior here for sure. It's going to be something to think about later on. But I want to get this dispenser thing here in the kitchen. So I have a few items that, well, I need to grab a couple of things. So let's get up here and, no, this one, we need an item frame. And I suppose we could just use an arrow for now. My idea is to use a golden sword, and I think we should be able to get those pretty easy from the nether. So what we're going to have here, we are going to have an item frame here that has an arrow on it. And depending on how far you turn the arrow around the circle, it is going to give you progressively more and more items of food. And then to get your order, you just press this button. So I worked this out in creative, and I hope that it's still going to work. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and pull, whoops, that is not what I want to do. I'm going to pull a little bit of redstone dust out of here just so that we can see what happens here. So right now we have no signal coming out of there, and if we press the button, it does turn on momentarily. So what is happening is there's a comparator back here that is reading the signal off of the item frame through the block, transfers that signal into here, and that transfers then into this redstone dust. Now we have this torch on the back side of the button that gives us a signal strength of 14 in this one. I believe it's 14. I don't think, well, no, it's actually 15. So it gives us a signal strength of 15 coming into the side of the comparator, and this comparator is in subtract mode. So unless this signal is stronger than this one, nothing goes out. Well, as soon as this turns off, then this signal just goes straight through. So if we up the signal strength, let's say we take it up to, that should be 5. So now the redstone should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should end right there. So if we press the button, actually it goes one further than I thought. Maybe that is 6. Yeah, that's 6 actually. But so, yes, that is the basic principle. And so the redstone is going to go over the top of some droppers. And the droppers are going to drop that, whoops, that is not what I want. They are going to drop the food items into a water stream on some packed ice. So I went out and got a whole bunch of ice. I actually built an ice tray up on top of the mountain over here specifically for this. But so the thing that I need to do now is to get this redstone signal to go down quite a ways into the ground so that we can have our dispensers. Now over here I put the entrance to the cellar. So we drop down a little and we go into the cellar. Right here is where the bubble column is going to be to bring the items up to us. And then over here is just going to be a cellar. Now, inside of this cellar, I'm kind of torn whether I want to do just hoppers underneath crates or crates. What the heck are those things called now? Barrels. Hoppers under barrels and chests, or if I want to make a hidden door that will go to the redstone area. Kind of actually leaning more towards a hidden door. But yeah, we'll just have to see. But so what I need to do now is figure out where that redstone is, because this is the floor of the kitchen. And we need to make sure that there is room to get that redstone signal down. And then on top of that, we are going to have a second redstone signal coming back up. And that is because we are going to actually have an interesting method of making sure that items don't go flying when they get up here to the surface, and we also can't see the water stream. So, yes, I want to get a little bit of that stuff taken care of, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at it. So I have basically got everything set up here with the exception of the final bit of redstone to dispense the items out to us. But I went ahead and set up a bit of glass here so that we could, ice, so that we could quickly just create a little bit of a water stream here. And this is kind of nice because now it's a bubble column. So we are also going to place a little bit of ice there, and we'll go ahead and break that one. And then finally we will need one more piece of ice here, and we need a trapdoor. So we break that, and now the water is coming up here. We can close that, and you can't tell that there's anything going on. So now what we're going to do is we are going to, well, first off, we are going to empty our inventory. Do I have an empty shulker? No. I do not have an empty shulker. Well, yeah, I guess this one is fairly close to empty. We'll just quickly dump everything in here because we want to go and get a whole bunch of food items. So Yes, that is what we're going to do. So we have some food items, but we are missing a lot of them still. A lot of the things that we really need, we are missing at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and grab all of this steak and the baked potatoes and the melon slices and a bunch of bread. And, yeah, some sweet berries. Well, you know what? We'll leave the sweet berries for now because we don't have enough of those. And I think that's actually it for food items in here. Now, we are going to want a lot more bread. So, let's go ahead and actually here, let's go ahead and grab a little bit of something that we picked up from a witch. Potion of healing. So also we should have, yes, a bunch of glass bottles in there. We are going to have to get a little bit of brewing going on. So we have our instant health and our regular health. So yes, I will be doing some brewing in between episodes to stock this up, but we can at least see what is going to be going on here. So next up, we need to go over here to the bakery. I believe the bakery. So we are going to grab a bunch of pumpkin pies and some cookies. We're not going to take cakes. I did some experimentation with that, and we found out cakes don't really work too well. We're going to grab a stack of apples, some beetroot, some carrots. You know what? Let's grab another stack of potatoes, a couple of stacks of potatoes. We'll get those cooking. And then we are also going to grab a quarter of a stack of hay bales and a bunch of cocoa beans. You know what? Let's make that a half a stack of hay bales because we need to make some bread too. So let's go ahead and head over here to the bakery. And we will get some of our food cooking here. So let's drop in the potatoes into the furnaces here. Yes, I know. This is a bakery, but yeah, it works. So now let's go ahead and get in here, and we are going to unpack all of this hay into wheat. And first off, we're going to make a stack of bread. And then we're going to make, oh, we do not need that many cookies. Let's go ahead and cut that down a little. Honestly, I think that's probably enough. Let's go ahead and make the rest of that into bread. So we've got a lot more cocoa beans than we needed. So let's go ahead and drop those back off in here. So you can see we have quite a bit of different foods here. And I'll grab what we have out of the potatoes so far. We'll be able to restock this later. So let's head down into the cellar of the tavern. And we're going to stock this thing for the first time. So yes, we have room to make our cellar just like normal. And then we have this mess of redstone componentry here. So we have, up here we have a comparator going into this block. That block powers redstone dust on top of here, which the comparator picks up, powers this block. And it just keeps passing it along without ever decreasing the signal strength. So once we get down here, we have the same signal strength down here, and actually this feels dark, the same signal strength down here as we have up at the item frame. So depending on how far you turn the item will be how many of these dispensers get opened or dispense. So we are going to drop potions into the first one. We are going to drop bread into the second one. The third one we're going to throw in a whole gob of meat items. The fourth one we're going to put in a little bit of vegetable stuff. And the last one we are going to put in stuff that would be considered kind of a dessert type item. So yes, we have lots and lots of stuff there, and I just realized we don't have any blocks to cover that up. Well, that's okay. We'll just go ahead and grab a little bit of andesite here, and I'll fix this later. So we do need to cover that because otherwise, when the droppers throw the items out, they go flying, which is a bit of a problem. But now what we're going to do is head back up into the top, and we will try to start figuring out how long it's going to take for us to get our items up here. So right now we are a little bit hungry. We're not overly hungry, but we're a little bit hungry. So we could just say, I want a drink. And we'll just open this up and we have a drink. Okay. Well, I want a drink and some bread. Well, wait a minute. Bread is not going to be enough to fill me up all the way. I guess we better go to the next one. So we'll push this. And actually this time I'm just going to wait for a little bit. And there we go. So we have a meal now with a little bit of a drink and some bread and some meat. And so, yes, that is what we're going to be doing. Now, I will be having a delayed redstone signal that will come back up here and power this block. And when that happens, the door will momentarily open and it will throw the items out. And the best part is when you do that, they sit right here. So, yes, I need to do a little bit of stuff to figure out actually how far we need to, or how long we need to delay that signal so that things will work. But also, we're going to want to get some potions for, like, strength. Actually, I think strength and instant health are probably going to be the ones that we're going to want to use. And then because potions don't stack, we're going to want to have hoppers and chests feeding that dropper so that we always have those potions. So, yeah, this works wonderfully. So we'll press it again and we will see there's another meal. I love it. Let's go ahead and get a big meal here. Why not? Because it only makes sense. This is the biggest meal that we can get. We should even have a dessert in this. And look at that. So we didn't get... Wait. Oh, no. We already had a piece of bread. That's why. So we got our cookie. We got our drink. We got our vegetable. We got our meat. We got our bread. That is a complete meal if I would say so. So, yes. Absolutely. I love it. That is a wonderful little feature. I am going to be putting these into the taverns in every village that we build. That way, we will not really be carrying food with us anymore. When we get hungry, we're actually going to go to the tavern to get something to eat. Now, the other thing is back here, I was able to keep this in a 2x2 space here in this corner of the kitchen. So it shouldn't be terribly difficult for us to hide this because we can put the trapdoor here, which covers the comparator, and then we can put some furnaces here that will cover this redstone. And then all that we need to do is extend the wall up. And so, yeah, that should work really good. And I might just take these trapdoors and send them all the way up to the ceiling as well. But, yes, I am thrilled to death about this. So here, let's go ahead and let's get another one. And since it's random, that is the best part. Now, we could have it set up to where we have an actual meal selection, but yes, this time we are out of potions, so there's no drinks left. But this time we got, of course, every time we're going to get a bread with a meal. And then we got an apple, a baked potato, and a steak. So yes, I absolutely love this. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. So I'm going to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any thoughts about what I've been working on or anything that you would like to see, be sure to put that down in the comments. Check out the playthrough for Techtopia. I'm having a great time over there too, but I'm also having a great time here. So, yep, that's it, and I will see you next time. Bye!